Hey guys, welcome to another movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Farrelly Brothers film, Green Book. This film is actually just directed by Peter Farrelly. Um, this is kind of his first solo directorial effort. In the past, it was always the Farrelly Brothers making a film and it was always a comedy. This time around, it's a drama. And like I said, only one of the Farrelly Brothers directed this one. Um, But in this movie, you guys, basically what it's about an opera house bouncer who loses his job, and he's basically looking for work right away because he has a family and they live in New York, and things can get expensive and bills pile up and things like that. But he basically looks around for work, and he basically gets a opportunity to interview with a Dr. Shandy is his name, and this other character's name who worked at the opera house, his name was Tony Lip, and he gets an opportunity to interview with this guy, and this Dr. Shandy needs somebody to help him drive around the Deep South for some concerts because he's a pianist and he's very good at what he does. He works in a music trio, and basically that he really needs somebody to help drive him to these places for these concerts. And so basically after some convincing and after speaking to his wife and everything like that, basically Tony Lip gets the job. And so basically him and Dr. Shandy and through a different vehicle, his other trio members travel with them too. um, but basically, it's an opportunity for Tony Lip and Dr. Shane to kind of get to know each other because they're driving in a car a lot. They're driving from state to state, and they're getting lunches together, going to hotels together. And the reason why the movie's also called Green Book is because that's also how um, the Tony Lip character played by Viggo Mortensen can know, what places to go to, which places not to go to, because they are in the Deep South, which means that, and because this film is in the early 1960s, that also means that there's going to be certain places that are going to be more accepting to certain races than other ones. And so they have to go to those places in the Green Book because those places are good about accepting people of a certain race and things like that. So they have to be cautious of those things. And so throughout the course of this movie, it's really about Viggo Mortensen and other character played by Mahershala Ali, Dr. Shandy, kind of going to and from each state, going to each concert, and kind of really getting to know each other, learning not to stereotype and things like that. And so over the course of this film, they form this big friendship, and it's actually a very interesting film as a result. So overall, guys, I really liked Green Book a lot. Um, I think it's a very interesting movie. I think the Farleys have really found a way to kind of make a different kind of film, while not completely going away from comedy. It's more so a drama with comedy elements, and I think overall that works really well with something like this. And I think it's a good choice for the Farley brothers. And I'm hoping that if they direct more films in this genre, they'll kind of play out like this, where it is a drama. There's comedic elements in it. It's not full on comedy, not full on drama, but kind of a healthy mixture of both. And I think they would make some really great films if they kind of stick in this genre and continue to make more films like this. But overall, guys, for Green Book, for my positives and negatives of the film, Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, they have great screen chemistry in this movie. They really do work well together on screen. They really kind of have a certain spark that only certain actors and certain actors working together can have on the screen together, and they really pull it off. It's interesting chemistry. You can tell they're friends. They really kind of understand where they come from and the fact that they're so different from one another, but they still understand each other. So I thought their screen chemistry in this film was very, very good. And like I said, I really do like that this is a great drama for the Farley brothers. I really hope they work in this genre some more. They really seem to have something in place as far as what their comedy goes, and if they work in another genre, how that goes. And like I said, I think it is a healthy mixture of the both. So I really hope they make another film kind of within this genre again. I also really like the film's sense of friendship. I really do get the impression that these two men are really becoming close friends, really getting close. And as the film progresses, we really do get a sense of the two of them becoming really close friends and really just bonding and getting to know each other and getting to know each other's race and things like that. So this film's sense of friendship I thought was very strong in this movie. I also like all the deep South conflicts that these two men face, whether it is something that Mahershala Ali faces, something that Viggo Mortensen faces, something that the two of them collaboratively face together, or even something as small as with Mahershala Ali being an African American man and kind of performing in a place that really kind of is not very accepting of that race. Um, there's a scene where Viggo Mortensen kind of backs him up on a piano that really has all this garbage in it. It's not taken care of. It's the wrong kind of piano that Mahershala Ali prefers to perform on and stuff like that. And how he kind of defended him to make sure he had the right piano for the concert and everything like that. So all these conflicts are faced throughout the course of this film, and I think they really work strongly, and they're really told effectively and directed effectively as a result too. And like I said, the film does really have great dramatic and comedic elements. It really is a healthy mixture of both. For the comedy alone, there's a number of scenes where Viggo Mortensen's on the road with Mahershala Ali, and he has to write letters to his wife to let her know how things are going, since he's not always around a phone. And this is the 60s, so cell phones weren't around yet, and payphones were around, but you kind of had to really look for them and stuff like that. So he really was writing her letters all the time, and so it was about kind of the two of them kind of collaboratively coming together and be like, what do I want to say to my wife? How would I say it? Tony Lip wasn't very good at spelling, so Mahershala Ali would always have to tell him how to spell certain things, and so I thought the way the drama and the comedy was handled was very effectively told in this movie. And I also felt very interested and invested in the characters. It really is interesting characters that the Farrellys really focused on in this movie. So I really liked how that really um, that really got me interested and invested in the movie. As I really cared about these characters, I cared about where they were going to go, what was going to happen to them, and I wanted their goals to succeed because I really did care about them just that much. For my negatives, though, I thought Green Book has kind of a hard time getting going. I thought at the beginning of the film it kind of had a hard time getting the story going, kind of figuring out what direction they were going to take. It definitely gets there. They definitely pursue that. And there's definitely a point where you definitely feel that the film's more confident in where it's going. But I feel as far as getting to that point, getting to the actual story itself, I thought the journey getting there was a little rough and patchy to begin with. There's also some vague details regarding Viggo Mortensen's character. He did a lot of dirty work on the side outside of this bouncer job that he had at the opera house. And the film kind of just lightly touches on it. It goes back to it every once in a while, once again, it just lightly touches on it, and it really doesn't give us certain detail. Clearly, he was doing something that even he kind of wasn't too proud of. But I thought they could have provided more details as to exactly what that was in his background, because the film's very vague about it, I thought. There's also some unclear details as far as Mahershala Ali's character. There's a scene that I can't get into too much detail on because it'd be spoiler territory, but it happens in a YMCA while they're on the road. It's quite clear what happened and kind of what he got in trouble for. But it also made me ask more questions about his background, if that makes any sense. For those who see the film, you might know what I'm talking about, but they really don't go too detailed into his background on preferences and his previous marriage that he brought up at another point in time. And it just kind of got me confused because there was two kind of conflicting things going on at once that kind of conflicted with another background detail of his. So I thought there was just some unclear details with some of the characters that I thought the writing of the film could have cleared up for a little bit more. Also, the film never really gets into detail on why the trio kind of split, why it was more so Dr. Shandy after this road trip kind of went on his own and stuff like that. So the film could have, I thought, dived into more details on that of what exactly made this trio that Dr. Shandy was involved with kind of break apart. Clearly, they broke apart, but it's not quite clear why it happened that way. So I thought that could have kind of been more clarified as well. But overall, guys, I'm going to give Green Book a 9 out of 10. It's a very great movie. It's a great effort from the Farrelly Brothers as far as dramas go. If they do decide to direct more dramas from here on out, I'm totally on board with it. So, like I said, 9 out of 10. Very strong, great film. Maybe one of the best of the year. Maybe not the best of the year, but one of the best. Really like the film a lot. Like I said, besides a couple of besides like the opening of the film kind of having a rough time getting started and some of the vague details and unclear details regarding both Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali's characters, I thought other than that, the film did a really good job, really making a great story, making a great film, making the sense of drama and comedy very effective. And like I said, if the Farrellys decide to do more films like this, I am all on board for it. So 9 out of 10 for me. I highly recommend Green Book, so be sure to go out and see it.